Welcome to the Road to Eurovision SemiFinal 2. I'm TC Kirkham, the Kirkham Report, and we're going to go over today's SemiFinal 2 entrants and what we'll be seeing. If you caught the first one, you'll know what Eurovision is all about. If you didn't, go back and watch the Road to Eurovision or SemiFinal 1 from Tuesday, where I explain everything that's going on. For those of you who may not know all about the Eurovision Song Contest, I've been a fan for 7 years, been aware of it for more than 40, and definitely going to take an American's point of view on things. So semifinal 1 is out of the way. We know who's going to be the first half of the finals, along with the big 5. And now today we're going to decide who's going to be the second half of the finals. And 10 of the 16 entrants will go through to the finals on Saturday, where they will vie for the 2023 Eurovision Song Contest Winners Circle. As always, I am speaking from an American point of view. European fans may vary, and often do, and my tastes are not the same as theirs, but I'm giving it the best analyst as I can, as having been doing this for several years now. Eurovision Semifinal Part 2 will air in the United States on the Peacock streaming service owned by NBC, beginning at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 12 noon Pacific Time. You can also catch it on YouTube if you have a VPN on the Eurovision Song Contest channel. And let's go over the 16 songs in the order that they will be appearing on today's semifinal. A lot of the stuff that I really loved and a lot of the stuff I really hated is out of the way, because most of them were in the first semifinal. So let's see what happens with this one. There are 16 songs competing, and we'll go over them and give you a little bit more about them and the odds as we go along. Starting off with first up, the first out of the box today will be Denmark. That is Riley and Breaking My Heart. He will be performing in English. Riley is the youngest competitor in this year's contest. He is just 16 years old. Up next, Armenia, represented by Brunette with her song Future Lover, sung partially in English and partially in Armenian. Third will be Romania, Theodore Andre with DGT Off and On, sung partially in Romanian and partially in English. Fourth up will be Estonia, Alika and Bridges. She will be performing in English. Number 5, Belgium, Gustav and Because of You. He is performing in English. At 6th position, Cyprus, Andrew Lambro and Break a Broken Heart. He will be performing in English. Halfway through the contest, or just about halfway through the contest, Iceland at number 7, Dilja with Power. She'll be performing in English. Up next, Greece, Victor Vernikos. I hope I said that correctly, Victor. What They Say, also being performed in English. Up in the 9th slot will be Poland, Blanca and Solo, performing in English. At number 10, one of only 2 acts performing completely in their native language, Slovenia, Carpe Diem from Joker Out. They will be performing in Slovene. At number 11, Georgia, Iru and Echo. She is performing in English. At number 12, San Marino, Peaked Jacks and Like an Animal, performing in English. In 13th place, Austria, Taya and Selena with Who the Hell is Edgar, performing in English, with a few lines in other languages. Number 14, Albania, Albina and Familia Kelmendi, I hope I got that right, with Duje or Duhe, performing in Albanian. Number 15, Lithuania, Monica Linky and Stay, performing mostly in English. And finally, 16th and last, Australia, Voyager with Promise. They are performing in English. For those of you who are wondering why Australia is part of Eurovision, I went into that on one of the other shows, but Australia has loyally carried the Eurovision Song Contest for, I think 4 decades now. And they were invited to participate with the 60th anniversary show in 2015. And they've hung around ever since. They've done well. This is their final year on their current invitation, but I have a feeling they'll be back because everybody loves them. So those are the 16 songs that are competing today for just 10 spots in the final. And I've spent time going through a lot of the fan polls, the fan rankings of the songs, also word of mouth online. This one's tough because there's a lot of good stuff, but there's a lot of middling stuff too that only has middling support from the fans. But I'm still going to make the prediction. I got 8 out of 10 right on the first semifinal. We'll see how well I do this time. I will say that there are 7 songs I think have a 70% or higher chance of getting through to the finals. And I mean, a couple of them are pretty much locks, but the other ones, not so sure about. The 7 I think will get through with 70% chance of getting through are Armenia, Brunette with Future Lover. She has a huge online following. Estonia, Alika and Bridges. I love that song. I'd love to see her get through. She has a modest following online. Cyprus, Andrew Lambrow and Break a Broken Heart. Another one of my favorite songs this year. Only has modest support. I'm not sure that it has huge support from the fans. We'll see what happens. Iceland, Dilja and Power. Iceland usually gets through regardless of what the song is, because people just want to see them win. They haven't won before. They should have won in 2020, but they didn't get the chance. Next up, Slovenia, Carpe Diem by Joker Out. They have a pretty rabid fan following. They, in fact, are the only band that seems to have a huge amount of support, other than Loreen, who made it through the first semifinals. Georgia, Iru and Echo, and the big one, another one of the big fans, but not as big as I thought it would be. It's averaging in 5th or 6th place on most of the fan polls. Austria, Taya and Selena with Who the Hell is Edgar. Now those 7 things I think are likely to get through with a better 70% chance to get through. The other 3 slots are up in the air. Albania usually gets through. They usually have a good following. This year, I'm a big Albania fan. I usually like what they do. This year, the song kind of left me flat. There's not enough to it in the instrumentation for me. I really love the ending of it, but the beginning of it is very slow to me. Still, they have a good chance of getting through because they generally usually get a pretty big swell of fans. So they're probably the most likely of the rest of them to get through. Australia also usually gets through, not always. They've missed the finals a couple of times, but Voyager's Promise has pockets of support online. I think it'll be enough to keep them in contention. The 10th place is up in the air. Riley from Denmark has his fans, and so does Victor Vernikos from Greece. The problem with both of these is that they're both tending to be in the back half of the predictions and the fan rankings online. A lot of people complain that Riley uses too much vocoder. I think the song is pleasant enough. It's not a bad little song. I personally would not pick it, but I can see where people would. Greece is a little bit too laid back for me. But they surprise me. Sometimes they'll get through when I don't think they will, and other times they don't get through when I think they should. So it'll be interesting to see where that happens. The rest of the songs, of all of the rest of them, Belgium and Lithuania have the strongest followings online, but their songs are not doing that well with the fans. So it's anybody's guess as to where it's going to go. We will have a full analysis. Don't forget, you can now vote in America. You do not have to live in Europe to vote anymore. There is a new rest of the world aggregate. It is 99 euros or 0.99 euros per vote. You can vote up to 20 times. It's easy. You can do it all at once. I think the total euros is total in American dollars is $21.90, if I remember right, from Tuesday. To vote for 20 votes, to pay for 20 votes, you can only do 20 per card. it'll be interesting to see if the American vote factors in. I don't think it did that well on the first one. We'll see if it does this time. I think we'd do better if it was free, at least for the first year here, but I don't know. We'll see. I will have a post-show wrap-up at 5:15 or so, right after Semifinal 2 is over, on which I will give my reactions on the staging, the performance, and everything else, and how I think they did. Plus, we'll have the rundown of the 10 people that have been named to move on to the finals on Saturday. Now, unlike Tuesday, I am having problems with Watch Party, so we will not be doing a live watch-along today or with the finals on Saturday. I'm sorry, I'd really hoped to do that this year. I managed to get it to work for a few minutes on Tuesday, but it wasn't working very well. So I do apologize for that. Hopefully we'll be able to do some kind of watch-along. Starting with Junior Eurovision this fall. Junior Eurovision, by the way, announced on Tuesday that this year's contest will be in Nice, France. France having won the contest last year, and will take place on the last Sunday in November. I think it was November 29th, which is 3 weeks earlier than last year's contest. In any case, that will be another show for another day, and I'll be doing all those for Junior Eurovision when it comes time for it this fall. In any case, I hope you'll enjoy the show, root for your favorites, enjoy the kind of crazy antics going on in between the songs, and the postcards have been fabulous this year, where they're uniting landmarks in each country, United Kingdom, Ukraine, and the nationality of the performer. Been a great job with those. I've enjoyed watching those, and I hope they continue to do that well. In any case, I will see you at approximately 5:15 Eastern Time, U.S. tonight, right after Semifinal 2. For the Road to Eurovision Semifinal 2, I'm TC Kirkham, the Kirkham Report. We'll see you after the show. Ciao, baby.